You know, you can follow along and type what we are typing. You understand? But if you don't have a computer, you have a note or something, you can be noting it. And then we'll post this video on YouTube, and you can check it out on YouTube, you know, for you to do a refresher of what we have learned today. So on your system, we have something called Notepad. That Notepad is a very powerful tool. And we're going to use that Notepad to start our development. As time goes on, we move into what we call Visual Studio Code. We will move to what we call Visual Studio Code. As time goes on, you will get that. All right. So let me move closer so that you can hear me better. Okay, so I'm going to move to the Notepad right now. I'm going to move to the Notepad, and then we are going to start our coding. Now, we are on the Notepad now. On the Notepad, we have Welcome to Web Design for Beginners. When you want to start designing a website, there's something you use. That thing that you use, we call it HTML. HTML. The HTML is something we call tags. Tags that help you to design the page. Tags that help you to design a page such that by the time you look at the page in your web browser, the page will be looking nice. So we are going to start developing our website using HTML tags. So the first tag that we are going to use is what we call the HTML tag. If you are going to design a website, the HTML tag is the first thing you are going to use to design the website. So for designing the website, you use something like this. We call it, you use your less than sign. You use your less than sign, and then you type exclamation mark, then you type something like this, doc type, and then you type HTML. Whenever you do anything like this, the browser will recognize that you want to view something on the browser. Let me go back to let me come back. When you want to design a website, that thing that I just typed is the first thing you are going to type on your notepad. If you were using Visual Studio Code, you can Google it, Visual Studio Code. It's also a platform where you can use which you can use to design a website. You know, as a beginner, we are starting afresh. The first line that you are going to ever type to design your website is that line that we have just typed. So you type exclamation mark, doc type, then HTML. Before you type that exclamation mark, doc type, then HTML, you use a less than sign before it, then you type the exclamation mark, doc type, HTML, and then you use the what do you call this one? Greater than sign. Everything we call HTML tag always have a beginning less than sign and a closing greater than sign. So when we go back to our screen, you will notice that we have the less than sign, then the exclamation mark, and then you have doc type, and then you have HTML. So the next thing you are going to do is to go to the next line. You start again with your less than sign, and then you type HTML, and then you close with your greater than sign. Anytime you are typing a line, or anytime you are typing something that will display on the browser, you know, anytime you are designing website, you are designing it for the browser. The browser is a kind of a screen where you can display whatever you design. It's just like having a TV. When you have a TV and you want to watch a video on that TV, you put in your CD, and then when you put in your CD, the information on that CD will now be displayed on your TV screen. So that is the same concept. Your browser, your web browser is your TV screen now. And then what do you want to look at? What do you want to view in that web browser? What you want to view is the HTML tags. And that HTML tags will now be interpreted into the design that you are seeing. So the first one is that doc type that we have typed. What is the meaning of doc type? The meaning of doc type is that there's a standard we call HTML5 standard. Anytime the browser sees doc type, it will understand that what you want to do is HTML5 standard. That is HTML5 website. That's what we want to design. We have HTML4, we have 3, and lower like that. But the standard for web design now is HTML5. And that is why anytime you want to design a website, the first thing you will type, or the first thing you will do, is to put that doc type on top. So when you put that doc type, then you can now continue. Now, the second law, there are laws. The second law of starting a website is after you start a tag, there's something we call a closing tag. When you have a beginning tag, there's something we call a closing tag. For example, we have typed HTML. Now we need to close this HTML. The HTML that we type is the beginning tag. We must close it. Any tag that you open must be closed. How do you close it? You type your less than sign, then your forward slash, and then you type the same name that you type at the beginning is the same name you're going to type at the end. And then you close it with your greater than sign. That is you have typed what we call an HTML tag. Let me ask a question. Do we have any question? Does anybody have any question? You can unmute and ask your question. If you have any question at any point in time, you can unmute and ask your question, or you can tell me to re-explain so that I explain better, so that you understand. Does anybody have any question at this junction, at this time? If you have a question, you can always raise a hand, as I said before. So if there's no question, we can continue. All right. So your tags must have a beginning and it must have an ending. So looking at the tag that we have just typed, it has an HTML beginning, and then it has an HTML ending. So the beginning tag, this is the beginning tag, and then this is the ending tag. Now, this that you have just typed is a parent. A parent is somebody that has children. This HTML tag that you have just typed is a parent. It has children. So inside it, you are going to type the children inside the HTML. So when you type HTML, which is the beginning, you now type the children inside. So inside, you will press enter. When you press enter, we have different type of children. Your HTML we have a head, and then it will have a body, and then it will have a footer. It will always have a head, a body, and then a footer. For example, you can type the head here, then you can type the body, and then you can type the footer. This head describes, the head describes the things that you want to describe in your website. It describes the things you want to describe in your website. For example, what is the title of my website? So the head can describe the title. It can describe the title. And then, for example, you want search engines to be able to find your website on the internet. You can put meta tags. We call them meta tags. Those meta tags help people to find your website, maybe when they Google or when they are doing searching. So it helps to find your website. Okay, somebody said that I should re-explain. Please unmute and let me know which part should I re-explain. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Which part do you want me to re-explain?
My computer is not really pressing the lesser than and greater than.
Okay. Okay, but you are understanding the...
Like it is on the keyboard, but if I press it, it's going to be showing comma.
Okay, then you need to work on your computer. Maybe you take it to the engineers. They will change your keyboard for you. The keyboard is misbehaving. Or you can use something we call on-screen keyboard. If you go to programs under accessibility, you will see on-screen keyboard. On that on-screen keyboard, as you can be using your mouse to click the letters so that you can type what you want to type. But just keep following. Just keep following. Because of time, we won't be able to solve all the problems. Keep following. The video will be on YouTube, and then you can always go back to it and rewatch it so that you understand. All right, thank you. Okay, so as I was explaining, the meta tags, the beginning tags and the ending tags. The meta tags, if you want people to search your website and to find you on Google, you use meta tags. All these things, you describe them in the head. And then you have the body. The body is the website itself. The body is the website itself. You want to put an image, a picture on your website, you put it in the body. You want to put a title on, a message on your website, you put it in the body. You want to put a chart on your website, you put it in the body. Every other thing, every other information, you put it in the body. All information. So you put it in the body. Then we now have what we call the footer. The footer is a kind of a place whereby you can put your company address or your business address. You know, when they want to find your address, they will go to the footer and see the address there. Or maybe you have some links. You want people to click on the links, and then it takes them to different links. You can put it on the footer. So you can put your copyright on the footer. You can put your address, company address on the footer, etc. The information on the footer is not always much, it's just few. But the main information is put in the body. So we are going to try to create that right now. We're going to try to create a simple website, a simple, very simple one. And then we will look at it, we will display it, and then you will see how it is. So we have declared our HTML, which is the first one here. we have declared our HTML. Remember that every tag that you type must have a beginning less than and a closing greater than. And then that is just the head. That is just the first part. The second part is that you must close it like this with another beginning less than, then forward slash, then the same name that you used to open it, and then greater than sign, which is the closing of the patapata. Let me use Yoruba so that you understand better. The closing of that tag, that is the greater than sign. Okay, so let's create an head tag. So you come here and then you create an head tag, head. You close your head tag by typing this. That is the head. Now, this head is also a parent. It will have children. So you can press enter 2 times and put in the children of the head. For example, we say a head can have title. So you can put title. What is the, then you close your title. Close your title. So what is our title? Our title is web design for beginners. That is the title of your website. Let's say you can put your name. You can put your name. That is the title of our website. Now, this is just plain text. That is, it is just normal text because we are using Notepad. Remember, we are using Notepad. So this is just normal text. It is not a website yet. We are still typing normal text. Now, we want to convert this into a website or an HTML file. Call it HTML file, because everything about web design is HTML. Now, what is the meaning of HTML? HTML means hypertext markup language. If you remember in the beginning, I talked about programming languages. This hypertext markup language is also a programming language. Let me put it here. Hypertext markup language, HTML. So that is the meaning of HTML, hypertext markup language. And everything about web design is HTML, is hypertext markup language. So all these things that we are seeing, all these things I've been typing, they are all hypertext markup language. Everything is hypertext markup language. HTML is hypertext markup language. Head is the same thing. Title is the same thing. Now, we also have body. So let's type the body tag. As I said, you put your body. Let's put everything I've typed before inside the body. So close your body. So the body is also a markup language. You can see our body began from here and then is ending here. So that is our body. So now we want to save. This is a website we have just built. You know, it's not complete yet, but I want us to be doing it one after the other. So we are going to save this file. You click on File in your Notepad, and then you click on Save As. File, Save As, then you change this one to all files. Then save your web page as index.html. Your file extension must always be .html. We also have .htm, but that is the old version. But now everybody is using .html. That's hypertext markup language. That is we also have different type of files. We have .doc, doc, that is document, Word document. We have .docs, that is docx, that is 2007 Word document and above. So for saving web pages or website, it is .html. So you will save this. Click on save. You can save it anywhere. You can save it anywhere you want to be working, and then you click on save. So this file will be saved as .html. That is as a website. I will share my screen now so that you look at what the file is. I will share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay. Zoom is not allowing me to share my screen. Well, I will open it now. It's on my desktop. I will open it, and then you can see how it's looking on the browser. So I'm going to I'm going to open it right now so that you can look at it on I will now share my browser so that you can see the small website that we just developed. So let me open it, index.html. If you are following along, you will see what we have just created. So let me share the screen so that you see what we have just created in the web browser. So looking at the web browser, look at what we just created. See our website, head. Those are the things we typed inside the body. Head describes item, comma, title. You can see that this is if you can see the description of the browser, it says c/user/desktop/index.html. That is our web file. That is our web file. So that's the index.html. We have not really designed much. All we just put there in our body is all these things that we typed. And you can see that it did not come the way. Okay, somebody is trying to come in. Please let me quickly admit the person. Let me quickly admit the person. Let me quickly admit the person. All right, as I was explaining, so we just displayed our website, but you can see that the website that we displayed is somehow just one line. That is because there's no design yet. It's just text that we have shown on the website. It's just text. We have not really done much designing. Okay. So we have not really done much designing yet. So we are going to go ahead with doing little designs, and then you are going to see how everything is going to come out. For example, let's go back to our design screen. Let's go back to our design screen. So we are back at our design screen, and we want to continue designing. I have told you that for you to design your website, you must start with doc type. Then you must continue with what we call HTML tag. Then your HTML can have head, it can have title, and then you can close the head. And then after the head, you have the body. Your body can contain many things. And whatever your body contains is what will be shown on your browser. That's what we just looked at just now. This is what we just designed in our body. And that is what is showing on our browser. But you can see that we put it on different lines. But because it's just a text, that's why it's showing on one straight line. And then when we have our body, we also close our body, and then we close our HTML. As I explained before, anytime you open a tag, we call them tag. All these things you are looking at, we call them tags, T-A-G. Anytime you open a tag, you must close it. For example, this body is open like this. When you want to close it, you will have /body. So like this, that is the way to close it. When you open your HTML here, when you want to close it, you do /HTML. That is how to close it. When you open your head here, you close the head by using /head. The same thing for title. When you open the title here and you type Web Design for Designers for Beginners by Timotech, you must close your title. Your title is what contains the title, what people are going to see whenever they log into your website. They will see the title Web Design for Beginners on their browser. So that is to describe that. So let us go to other things. We wanted to use themes, but it seems as if people are not connecting to the themes. The themes was giving people problem in connecting. So that's why we moved to Zoom. But you know, Zoom is 30 minutes. So so is this recording may time out. The tutorial may time out. I will just reconnect back, and then all you need to do is reconnect back. So let's go to, we have different type of tags. We have different type of tags. Let me list them. There are so many, so I cannot list everything. We have tags. Yeah, you have H1. We have H2, like that, up to H6, H1, H2, H3, up to H6. We have something we call BR, that is break. For example, when you have this line here now, when you have this line here, and then you want this second line to go to the next line, then you will use something like this break. We also have other type of tags. We have the image tag, which you call IMG. We have the image tag, and so on and so forth. We are going to be seeing those tags as we go along. So for example, now, I want to convert this line. I want to convert